What was the most idiotic rule you were forced to obey at work? I worked at a call center where we had a rule that if you were a minute late, you would be docked 15 minutes of pay. However, if you called in and said you were going to be late, you would get a 15-minute grace period. So, if you were running late, you could call in and say you were going to be late and you wouldn't be docked any pay. But if you didn't call in and were only a minute late, you would lose 15 minutes of pay. This rule was so ridiculous that it actually encouraged people to call in and say they were going to be late, even if they weren't. I remember one time I was stuck in traffic and knew I was going to be a minute or two late. I called in and said I was going to be late, and when I got to work, I was actually on time. But because I had called in, I got a 15-minute grace period and didn't lose any pay. Another time, I was literally running to my desk and clocked in 1 minute late. I lost 15 minutes of pay because I hadn't called in. This rule was so stupid that it actually ended up costing the company more money because people would call in and say they were going to be late, even if they weren't, just to get the 15-minute grace period.